Great morning. I am Michelle Patrice Wade, host of Beautifully Reconstructed, the ministry where we believe that God can take the brokenness of your past to beautifully reconstruct you and launch you into your divine destiny. Today's reflection is personal. My sister always told me you were a little girl who lost her voice, and now that you found yours, you're helping others find theirs. She was right. For a long time, I believe silence was strength. I believe that keeping quiet protected me. I believe that if I didn't say it and didn't face it, I didn't name it, then somehow it wouldn't have power over me. But what I have learned, and what many learn too late, is this. Silence doesn't heal you. Silence hides you, and anything that you hide cannot be healed. When you keep your truth buried, it doesn't rest, it festers, it grows, it spreads, it breaks you from the inside out, while the people around you assume you're fine because you've mastered the art of functioning in your pain. But the moment you release your truth, the moment you give voice to what tried to silence you, something shifts. Something breaks open, healing becomes possible. And healing begins with 3 revelations. You must reveal your truth to God. You must acknowledge your truth to yourself. And when led and safe, you must release your truth to others. Because when you finally name what happened to you, you also release the shame that was never yours to carry. This is why I am unapologetically transparent in my book, No Longer Satan's Whore, because I want everyone listening to know your voice is not a weapon against you. Your voice is a weapon against the enemy who tried to silence you. You are not that little girl or that little boy anymore. You are not that silenced version of yourself. You are an individual stepping into your truth and doing so and open the door for someone else to step into theirs. And here at Beautifully Reconstructed, that's exactly what we're called to expose what tried to silence you, heal what broke you, and rebuild the voice God intended you to carry. We will be right back with our guest.
My past does not define me. Its purpose was to refine me. God, He took my broken pieces to transform and renew me. Now, beautifully reconstructed. Beautifully reconstructed. I'm beautifully reconstructed. Beautifully reconstructed. I am. Let's talk. Let's heal. Let's live.
Welcome back. I am your host, Michelle Patrice Wade, and today we are going to talk about what happens when life gives you obstacles and challenges, and you make decisions that you want to use those things that God has helped you overcome to help others. So today I want you to help me welcome my guest, Ms. Frida Campbell, because she is doing great things in the kingdom to do just that. Welcome, Frida.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here today.
It's my pleasure to have you join me today.
Thank you. Thank you.
One of the things that you are doing, and I want you to tell me your why behind it.
Okay.
Because you started, and I don't know how long you've been journeying, because I just started journeying with you with the Purple Wednesdays
Right.
for
Yes.
domestic violence awareness.
Yes.
So kind of tell me your why behind that. I never asked, and so I'm curious. Let everybody know.
Yes. Domestic violence. My why is, well, I actually grew up in a domestic violence home, my mom and my dad. So at a young age, a lot of people can't even fathom this. I still remember those times, seeing her go through it. She always said I could pack a bag better than anybody, because when we went over to my dad's house, that's the first thing I would do, go get my little stuff out, pack my bag, because I'm ready to
Yes.
go. They were not living together. We would go over there like on weekends.
Okay.
And this thing about my dad, in my mind, he was a good person,
Yes.
but he had this problem that he drank a lot. When
Mm.
he drank, then things changed. And so seeing that, I have a passion for domestic violence. But fast forward, when I end up being a single mom at 17. A lot of people don't know that I actually got married at
Oh,
that young age.
wow.
And my mom, she actually supported me and loved me in anything that I wanted to do. She was against it, but in my mind, even at that young age, I was thinking I did not want to um, have a child and not be married. So
Yes.
she signed the papers. It happened, and there it started. He was um, more of like an isolation person. I stayed with my mom, both of us did, and he, I could not leave the room. I had to wait
Wow.
until he woke up to leave the room. It was more of isolation, and even my mom was in the house. He would do certain things, but I never said anything to her because I know what would have happened. And
Yes.
then I grew up seeing her. My grandmom never knew that she was going through a domestic violence
Um,
relationship. You know, you had that saying, what goes on in the home
stays in
stays
the
in the
home.
home. So
Yes.
I guess I followed that trend, seeing her go through it. There I am. You know, a lot of people are like, how could you be staying with your mom and this going on and you don't say nothing? Well, one thing I was afraid.
Yes.
Um, But one day it took for my daughter, he threatened to take her. He had picked her up. She was like hand baby. And I said, you're not taking my baby. And then that's when something snapped in me. And and
Yes.
I stood up for myself and that was the end of it. But even before that, teen domestic violence, even in high school, your first love, the football player, you have the Letterman jackets, and um in school, the first thing young guys would say, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love you. So I think me going
Hmm.
through that, seeing my mom experience, I think I was really trying to find love, but not find it the right way. So I had to eventually wake up. And now I have daughters of my own, and them growing up, I didn't want them to think that it was okay. That
Absolutely.
if a young man tell them that I love you, oh, it's okay if he hit me. It's not.
It's
It's
not.
not okay. So I was like, you know, you have to use your voice. The only way to use your voice, um, well, let me back up. I didn't want to use my voice originally. I was afraid to use my voice. But the more I learned that your voice is important, and a lot of people tell me your voice is needed. And even back then, I had self-esteem issues. I thought I was too skinny. Of course, now when you get older, you wish you was that size when you was in high school. But
Yes.
so I had self-esteem issues, and today, now, um, I actually took a class in Spartanburg to learn more about domestic violence and sexual assault. I've never experienced sexual assault, but to be able to speak about it, to share my story and journey, and educate other women about it.
Yes. One of the things that I especially appreciate about what you stated is that you have been questioned about how can you not say something and be right there with help available.
Right.
Well, now that gives you an opportunity to help others, not from a lens of judgment, but from a
Hmm.
lens of understanding,
Right.
because it's challenging for someone to comprehend what you're feeling in that moment
Hmm.
unless you've walked in those
Those shoes.
shoes.
Right. Right.
And one of the things that I hear so loudly is the fact that you made a decision that you were going to break the curse. You were going to
Hmm.
break generational cycles,
Right.
that you didn't want your daughter to move forward in a life that was acceptable.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
And you have now, and you state that you were afraid to use your voice, but not any longer.
Yes. 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 I know so many people be like, is that Frida? Is that Frida? Because now, they say I don't be quiet. Sometimes I get reserved.
Yes,
But yeah, that's the only way that you can, share. You have to share your stories, share your testimony. Nobody else can share your story like you can.
you cannot.
And that's the only way that you can open those doors.
And you help others, you give others the opportunity to know that they're not alone,
Right.
as well as you give them, help them with the courage
Mm.
to tell theirs, and not necessarily on a platform, but
Right.
just tell it, and maybe break out of that situation that they're in. They can see that I can move forward without,
Right.
because I know that for abusers, one of the things I heard was isolation. They isolate you, making you feel as if they are the pivotal person in your
Right.
life, and that no
Right.
one else is going to love you the way that they love you,
Right.
and that no one could support you. You're not. They speak to your self-esteem to the point where it breaks it to the point where you are afraid to move on without them.
Right. Yes. Yes. And you start to believe it, listening to, because a lot of women, I hear a lot of women say, uh, just talking in general, I don't know why she won't leave. And I was like, because it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You don't know what she's going through. And you can't really say it unless, like you said, you've been there. It's totally different.
It
You have to
is.
make decisions. You have to plan, and you have to decide that enough is enough. And even with my daughter, she had a friend that was going through it, and they're teenagers. And my daughter was always, would say, she always talk about the same thing, and she won't leave him. And I was like, the best thing you could do is always be that listening ear. Be that listening ear. No matter how many times she comes to you
Yes.
talking about the same thing, just let her know you're there for her. And eventually she'll have the courage to walk away, and she has.
Yes.
But
Awesome.
never turn your back, because that's your friend. A lot of people like, oh, she always talking about him. She always talking about him. Keep on listening, be there for
Keep
her.
on listening. Be that safe place, because, like you said, eventually, when they get the strength, they know that they have someone that will help them along the journey. Who
Right.
cares and
That
will be,
cares.
yes,
Yes.
that's so important.
Yes, it is. And so my one of my things, which I'm actually called freestyle, and stepping into your own true freedom. And that's what it's about, and that's what I represent. Step into your own true freedom.
Now, was that how did that name come about? Was it just God inspired?
Yes,
Or
God
okay.
inspired. Yes, God inspired. Yes, that's even with my podcast, Spotlights with Frida. It's
Yes.
about empowering women, inspiration, and they share testimonies. And with that, it happened in 2020. And when God gave me that, I was like, no, I can't do that. I was like, but you have to be obedient. And a
Yes.
lot of times we as women are afraid of what others will say. I had an
Mm-hmm.
issue at one point of, I would listen to other people speak, saying big words, and I'm like, why I don't say big words? I don't talk like that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
more type country, I guess you would say country. And so I was like, afraid of what people would say about my voice. There's so many issues that we have as women. I used to say my voice was deep. And so, you had to learn to love yourself. And that's what I spread to,
Yes.
showing women, love yourself. It's okay to not be okay. Um, and, that's what I'm just about, empowering others.
That's another thing that we have in common.
Mm-hmm.
My voice is a little squeaky, and even when God was
Mm-hmm.
calling me into ministry, I'm like, well, I'm so accustomed to hearing ministers minister with such strength, and I'm like, my
Right.
voice doesn't sound like
Right.
that.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we picture ourselves in this box,
Mm-hmm.
and oftentimes, well, I'm not gonna say oftentimes, God doesn't care about a box.
Right.
He
Right.
does not care
Right.
about a
Right.
box.
Yes.
And so when we just step out in obedience, we'll be amazed at how God can
Right.
use our voice to help others.
Yes. Yes. And that he will.
And He will. And even the fact that you talked about witnessing as a child,
Mm-hmm.
my part of my journey is I witnessed it as a older child. My mom started in relationships around 16,
Mm-hmm.
17, and I was bent on the fact that I would never, ever, ever allow.
Yes.
And to be honest, no one ever put a hand on me because I was adamant about it. If
Right.
you do, you just might as well kill me because it's not
Right.
going to be good.
Right. Yes. Right.
And however, I ended up being emotionally abused.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was the same trap in a different
Right.
manner,
Mm-hmm.
but I did go through domestic violence
Domestic
in that
violence.
essence, but didn't realize that's what it was at the
Right. At the
time.
time. Yes.
So when even you sharing that part, that is important, because people need to know that, you may say, well, I won't tolerate this, but if you're tolerating another aspect of it, you're still in that, you're still going through it.
Right. And with you saying that, because even I was asked to speak at a church before about domestic violence. And as I was hearing the other women share their story, and when I got up to share my story, it kind of made me feel like, well, your story don't sound like their story. They experience more abuse physically. And that's the thing, that God showed me, that your story is still the same, because when I learned the different types of abuse, when it comes to domestic violence, it's not always physical. It's the same. Abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse, emotional. So when I learned that, then I started to look at myself differently, like, you are the same. Don't be afraid don't let that keep your mouth closed because you feel that you did not go through what they went through. So I got through that, and God, he'll get you through it. And yeah. So now today, Stephen, even with when it comes to domestic violence, certain things, like with my husband, we've been together 28 years.
Yes.
28 years. And we've never experienced that, but in some way, it caused me to be hush on certain things, because my thing is to make sure everyone else is happy, to not really voice my opinion, because I grew up in a
Becoming a
home with
people pleaser.
hollering.
Yes.
With a lot of hollering, so I made it a point. My kids are never going to see that hollering or nothing. So whether I wanted to express my opinion, sometimes I didn't. I just stayed silent because I didn't want it to go there. But now, I'm like, my husband be like, he be looking like, who is this person? Like, okay.
Well, Frida, I want to unpack that a little bit more, but right now this is a perfect opportunity for us to segue into our ministry moment. And so I want you to sit back, because when I tell you, she is indeed a worship servant. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back after Crystal Morris ministers in song.
You are the Holy One, the everlasting Son. You're mighty in all of your ways. You are the joy within. God, on you I depend. You are the great I am. Great is our God, great is our King. He is the ruler of everything. Great is our God, great is our King. He is the ruler of everything. You are the Holy One. Yeah. You're mighty in all your ways. You are the joy within. God, on you I depend. Oh Lord, sing it. Great is He is. Yeah, Lord, great is our King. He is. You're the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, yeah. We honor you. We give you everything. You're worthy, yes you are, God. You're mighty, yes you are, God. You're faithful in all your ways, oh God. We bless your name, oh God. We came for no other reason than to give you glory, give you honor, give you praise, oh God. You're holy, 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 God. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome back. I know that you truly know how great our God is after listening to her worship and music. She's no stranger to the show. However, every time I hear her voice, it blesses me. So I am sure that it did the same for you. And so as we left off, we were talking about the fact that you now use that voice.
Yes, yes, yes.
Even to the point where it surprises your husband at times.
Right. Yes. Yes, that is true. I use my voice now. I'm not silent anymore.
Yes.
Some call me a silent storm.
Yes.
It takes me a point to, just get there. But once I get started, that's it.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, when you talk about what are some of the things that you used to shy away from? Did you not like confrontation or?
A lot of things I shied away from. Well, yes, confrontation is one of those things. Just go with it. Keeping things in and not sharing. And I learned that you have to share what's in your heart because that can affect you. Don't hold things
Absolutely.
in. And a lot of things, I think I probably missed out on a lot of my blessings because I have actually been invited to several things like in the past
Yes.
where I let fear come up and I would say no or I would make something up. And I learned that in order for you to touch somebody, don't be afraid. You have to
Yes.
just do it. Just do it and trust God in all things. Trust
Yes.
God. And no matter what, he'll get you through. And one of the things my grandmom always would tell me, because I would tell her, well, she's passed now, but she told me, I was like, I'm so nervous. I see people get up and they just do it. And she said, if you're not nervous, then that means you're standing and believing that you're just in control. When you're
Absolutely.
nervous, you're opening up. God is in control. He's going to get you
Yes.
through it. It's not about you, And I was
Yes.
like, wow. And I was like, okay, because I've never had it explained to me like that. I was like, okay.
Grandma was wise.
Yes.
She
Yes, she
was.
was.
She
Yes, she
was.
was.
Joyce Meyer, she always says, do it afraid.
Yes.
And, I appreciate the fact that you were so transparent with that you miss opportunities because we can, if we
Right.
allow fear to paralyze us
Yes.
when opportunities come along. And, I've said this before and I will continuously say it because I believe in it, that when we do not walk in obedience and share our story or do what God is calling us to do is selfish.
Yes.
Because we are called to people to help people,
Right.
and that person is not getting what they need from us because we were too self-centered.
Right.
To what about thinking about me?
Thinking about me.
Thinking about
Yes.
me.
Right.
And I am
Right.
not throwing stones because
Yes, yes.
I have quite some time doing that. And even today I have
Right.
to make sure that I'm pushing myself to move forward. There's still
Right.
things that may still be outside of my comfort zone.
Right.
This is
Right.
outside of my comfort zone.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very reserved.
Yes.
I'm more of an introvert, and
Mhm.
however, and that's why I believe that no one cannot tell me that God does not have a sense of humor.
Right. Yes. Right. You're right about that.
Because I hate public speaking,
Mhm.
but what do I do? Yes.
You do it right. You do a great job.
Oh, to God
Yes.
be the glory. For real.
Yes.
Truly it
Yes.
is. Truly it is.
Wow. Wow. I would have never knew that. But
But God, because that's what we say,
right. But God.
even, and that's what, when you say, God, I'm allowing you to lead and guide me, then that
Right.
means that, you're allowing yourself to decrease that he may increase.
Right.
And so
Yes.
when I allow him to do that, that's, okay, Holy Spirit, have your way.
Have your
Have
way.
your way.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And with you saying it, because a lot of times when when you're doing this, you do get tired sometimes,
Hmm.
but you have to keep going. And I didn't really know how to explain it, but a week ago, my preacher spoke on borrowed strength. And I was like,
Mm.
that's it. Thank you, Lord,
Yes.
because I always say, Lord, give me strength to
Yes.
get through this day. Give me strength and borrowed strength. And I'm thankful for it.
Absolutely. Since one of the scriptures that have really come alive for me over the past 2 years is that God's strength is made perfect in my weakness.
Oh,
Meaning
yes.
that I do not have to be strong, because sometimes that tiredness doesn't come in a physical form. Sometimes it's emotional. You're
Right.
going through things behind the scenes, yet you're still called to a purpose.
Right.
And your purpose doesn't stop because life hits you hard.
Right.
It doesn't.
Right.
I've adapted. God may allow you to pause, but you can't quit.
Can't quit.
You can't
Right.
quit.
Yes.
So during those times when you're going forward, even when you don't feel like it, and
Hmm.
obedience, then you
Yes.
rely on his strength.
Right. Yes. And
Yes.
he always gets you through.
Always.
Always.
Never failed me yet.
No, no, no. Yes.
Now I've been on the other side of you interviewing me, so I would
Hmm.
too would have not guessed that you are more reserved because you interview so well.
Thank you.
And so, when I know that not only did you give me the opportunity to share my journey, however, you gave
Hmm.
me the opportunity to share the other things that God has evolved through my journey.
Right.
And you do
Yes.
that for other entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
because
Right.
some of us have, kingdom ministry,
Right.
marketplace ministry, and the
Yes.
kingdom. And so, tell us a little bit about that and how that evolved to that place.
Yes. That evolved, which was in 2020, and God gave that to me. And I started with women, empowering women. A lot of times, social media can make everything look perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I started off spotlighting women,
Mm-hmm.
like spotlight of the week,
Frida
because
Spotlight.
I felt like a lot of people should see what you're doing, what
Mm-hmm.
she's doing. You're doing great things in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started, and I realized different women would inbox me. It was like, thank you so much. I needed that.
Yes.
I was not having a good moment. I was thinking about giving up on my business or thinking
Mm-hmm.
about stopping. But because I spotlighted them, it gave them that chance. And usually I didn't just go randomly and pick people.
Yes.
God, I say God, just a
Lead
name will
me.
pop up in my
Yes.
head, and I'm like, okay, thank you. It would happen in the middle of the morning sometimes.
Yes.
When you wake up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, chart things down, because if you
Yes.
wake up, you may forget it. God speaking to you, or you
Yes.
need to pray. And so many times, and that made me feel good, because that's what it's about. Not as for much as the accolades. If I touch one person and they said
Mm-hmm.
that you inspired me, that's what makes me happy. That's what makes me
Absolutely.
happy. And so from Spotlight of the Week, that's when it transitioned into Spotlights with Frida, bringing guests onto the show to share their journey, share their testimonies, what they've been through, because it's always someone else out there that needs to see what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
hear what you're doing, and just say, oh, wow, she went through that. I can do it too. And
Absolutely.
not give up.
And not give up.
Yes.
And you say, one of the things I've seen you go on location as well. Yes, you'll go to a business to highlight that business. So we appreciate that as women, and especially Kingdom women, because especially as Kingdom women, we should be uplifting one another, and helping each other and evolve into the person that God has created us to be. And even without our businesses, sometimes it's, if we're walking in that place where we're a little hesitant, coming on to your show and you taking the time to spotlight us gives us that glimpse of, okay, well, somebody has noticed it.
Yes.
Thank
And
you,
that's what I
Lord.
like to say. I see you. Like, I see
Yes.
you, not just what you're doing, but I see you, what you're doing out there, that you're helping somebody else, that you're making a
Yes.
difference, you're making a change. It was one young lady, I remember she had started doing eyelashes. And the next month, she was like, I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not getting support. And I inboxed her and I told her, you can't stop now. It
Yes.
doesn't matter how. Don't think about the support. Just do it. If it's your passion and something you
That's
love,
right.
keep doing it. Keep doing it. Somebody's watching. You don't know it, but they're watching.
They're
Don't give
watching.
up. And, and she was like, okay, thank you so much. And also, too, as far as empowerment, when it comes to women, being honest, women of color, a lot of people look at us as not being able to get along, being jealous of one another. But it's not the case in our situations. We
Not at
can.
all.
It's about helping our sister up, putting her
Yes.
crown on,
Putting her crown on.
and that's what I like to represent.
Well,
That
you
we
represent it
can.
well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You do. This has been an enlightening conversation. I hate that the time is going, because I really feel like there's so much more to you that we could unpack. Because you do, you are one of those Kingdom women who inspire and encourage us all. So if you don't get a thank you from the masses, know that this woman appreciates you. So
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you, because you're doing great things, and keep going. I see so much. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, before we end, as we end, please tell the people how they can get in contact with you so that they can watch you on social media, or if they want to be highlighted, let them know how they can reach out to you.
Okay. Well, on Facebook, you can find me as Frida Campbell on Facebook. Also, my email, if you would like to be highlighted, share your story, give a testimony, spotlights with Frida@yahoo.com. Also, Instagram, Frida39. And then also, you can also find me on YouTube. That's put in Frida Campbell.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Frida, for joining me this week.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thank you all for joining. Please remember that I am not, you are not, and we are not inadequate. We are beautifully reconstructed. Until next time.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to subscribe to the Beautifully Reconstructed YouTube channel so you never miss an update. And while you're at it, don't forget to grab a copy of Michelle's powerful book, No Longer Satan's Whore, available now on Amazon.com. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next week.